Hi everybody, welcome to Flosstube number 8. Flosstube number 8. This is Vermont Stitchy Co. I'm Chelsea, the owner, designer of Vermont Stitchy Co. And I'm here today again to talk about my the previous weeks, my flossing, is that what it's called? my the finishes that I've done, the designs that I've done or have gotten the works, and yeah, so welcome. First, hello, how you doing? I just want to welcome you in. If you're new, thank you for taking a chance on me and watching for a little bit. For those returning viewers, hi again. Hope you're having a good day. We've got Tyr in the back here. He's the three-legged cat, and he is enjoying the bright sunny day. I do apologize about the glare. I've got a window here that's open. This one's covered up. I can't see him. I've moved the shade around. I want to keep it open so I get good light, but I'll try and move my glasses so that you can actually see my eyes because it bugs me too. So we've got Tyr here. Shadowfax is down here in this seat. But if I tip the camera down, you'll see my mess of mugs that I left this morning, so I'm not going to show you that. So yeah, they're here. They're being cute cats. I get sunny. It's sunny today. It's been, in the 40s and 50s, which for here in Vermont is pretty warm and it's pretty nice, and I've had the windows open occasionally. But today it's really actually surprisingly cold for how sunny it is. It's deceiving. And I had on my phone this morning, I woke up and there was a winter weather advisory where we're supposed to get like a bunch of snow starting at 5 o'clock tonight. So we'll see if that happens. If that does, we might lose power because that's not unusual for our area. Even though we're right off of a main road, we have a lot of trees because we're set back on a mountain, and so it can be, when it's too heavy, the snow, or if it's sudden, branches break and stuff happens. So we'll see if the snow actually comes. Whoops. Excuse me. We'll see if the snow actually comes. I dropped my notes here, but hopefully it doesn't. I'm over the snow. I like the cold. I'm happy with the 45-degree weather, but I like the sun too. I really want it to stay sunny so we can move to springtime, because it's still in that muddy kind of mud season here in Vermont where everything is really damp and yeah, not so fun. I woke up the other morning, we had the heat off, and I woke up and I was like, it smells musty in here. This is gross. We need the dehumidifier on. So that's what we're moving into, April showers and mud season here in Vermont. Let's see, last week, I'll give you a quick update. Last week I went to, I think it was on last Friday, my mom and my uncle, who lives down in South Carolina, they came up with my grandma, and the one who has dementia, and so they came up for lunch here locally, so we were able to go to lunch. And then as we were walking out of the restaurant, my mom was like, oh my gosh, Grandma doesn't have her special underwear on, the one that older people need. So we're like, okay. So we went and we rushed to Walgreens. I mean, there were no accidents, which is good, but we rushed to Walgreens. We bought the special, Depends underwear, and we then went into the bathroom to help because my grandma can't do stuff alone, although she is quite independent in certain aspects. Balance-wise and doing that kind of stuff she can't do alone. So we go to change her and we're like, she's not wearing any socks. She's just barefoot in the shoe. And so my mom was not too pleased with the care. Not that the care was bad, it's just that my grandmother is very strong-minded, as I mentioned before in the last video. She also can be not so nice to the staff. So perhaps she was mean and didn't want their help, or for whatever reason, She was missing her socks and her underwear, and her shirt was backwards and inside out. So my mom was just like, you know, I know how she is, but just ask her a question, because she doesn't lie well, and you can tell. So you just, even if she doesn't want your help, just ask, you know, did you put on your underwear? Did you put on socks? Because she dresses herself, but you know, things happen, but no accidents, thank goodness. And then after that, my husband and I came home. I cross-stitched the I call it the flower shop pattern, which I put on my Instagram and I dropped on Etsy, and I'll show you in a few minutes. And then we went to my mom's house for dinner. My grandma was not there for that. They dropped her off and kind of snuck out. I guess with her type of dementia, or perhaps it's dementia plus her personality, you kind of just have to sneak away and then sneak in. So my uncle was telling me that when she was told that my uncle is coming on this day and we're going to go have fun, she took all of her clothes out of her dresser and put them in piles as if she was going to leave. And then she waited all day and was waiting outside her room, and for like all day, and my uncle wouldn't be there till like 3 or 4. And so it was it's taxing on her. So you have to like sneak in and just show up, and then sneak away and just not be there. And it helps her, I guess, her mental capabilities, or her mental health a little bit better, so that she understands, like, I don't know, maybe she forgets or something. I'm not quite sure how it works, but so lesson learned. 2 things. Lesson learned: don't tell her when people are coming, just show up and then just disappear, and she is better for it, and her personality is nicer. And so I'm still on break this week, but I'm working part-time, so I'm only working 25 hours. And then next week is the first day of term, or next week is the first week of term, so it'll be back to normal. But over break, I've been getting so much done and getting so much stitching done. I finished that big piece. I started on another one. I'm almost done. I'll give you a sneak peek. If you don't follow me on Instagram, definitely take a look, because I did take a picture and put it on Instagram as well. But I'm very proud of how much I'm able to get done, you know, when I don't have regular work. So that's been fun. Yeah. And then I wanted to show you, I did get some haul, but I'll do that next. So let me show you the finished flower shop. Again, I'm sorry, I'm looking at my notes. Let me show you the finished flower shop. Now I put it on Instagram, both without the finishing and then with the finishing. So this is the final piece, and I will try my best not to get the light in, but you can see. Oh, sorry about that. See if I move it this way, if it's any better. So there's the flower shop, the bunny on the scooter, a duck reading a newspaper. That's the first one. The second one, you can see the scooter is over here. He or she has left it. There are ducks, not ducks, chickens and chicks playing soccer. This rabbit is bringing a flower. I imagine it is a male rabbit bringing to mom. So like a Mother's Day type of thing. Oh, sorry. And I put, you know, just took up some flowers, and this is one of the butterflies that butterflies or moths that I have. Some flowers, I just repurposed them. I think it looks really nice. This is a frame that I've had for a very long time. It is behind glass, as you could probably guess. There's just cardboard on the back, so I kept the glass because the cardboard was flimsy and not strong enough to hold it on its own. But I think it looks, let me take a step back, I think it looks really, really nice. Hangs downstairs. I have this ribbon to hang it by, so it is really, really lovely. The sizes I wrote down, it is, what was it again? Oh, it's one rectangle, one of these rectangles, because there's a white on the outside of the pink, which maybe you can see. It is 72 stitches tall and 182 stitches wide. So that's just one rectangle. So it's exactly the same bottom and top. So you can choose to stitch just one, to stitch both, and to put it on two different pieces if you want, to separate them and then maybe hang them on the wall separately. You could just do the bottom one, you know, it's up to you. And you can change the colors just like anything you can on with cross stitch. You can change the colors. Oh, this you can't see in any glare now. Just with any type of cross stitch, you can change the colors of anything. If you don't like purple for the dress, make it a different color. You know, you want the moped to be pink, then make it pink. You know, you can do whatever you want. You don't like the color of the blue pants or the yellow shirt of the what I am imagining as the male rabbit, then change it. It doesn't matter. That's the beautiful thing about cross stitches. You can make it your own and do your own thing. So I'm going to put this next to Tyr, and hopefully he won't chew on the flowers. Okay, he's sleeping, so I might have snuck it in on time. Okay, so that was my finished piece. That I put it on my Etsy shop, so you can find it there, and it is on Instagram if you want to see a closer up. The pictures are really nice on Etsy. I think they're nice. So that's what I have been working on for the past 2 or 3 weeks. You know, it was really difficult when I'm working full-time to be able to stitch as much as I want, so that's why it took so long, but I am finished and I'm so proud of it. But the pattern, I just wanted to mention, the pattern for that one has both rectangles with all the designs in. So if you just want to do one, you will have to buy both of them will come together. So there's, that was just the way it is. But you can choose to stitch one or both. Before we move on, I want to show some previous finishes that are on my Etsy shop right now. They're spring related. That one can, what I'm calling Flower Shop is the one I just showed you with the bunnies. Flower Shop could be a Mother's Day stitch because I imagined somebody giving something to a mom. It doesn't have to be. It can be spring. It can be Easter because of the bunnies and the flowers in there. It can be just, you know, something that you keep up all the time, or it can just be seasonal. Whatever you want is perfectly fine. But on the theme of spring and seasonal, I want to show you some other ones that I have going back. This is the most recent one I showed last week. This is also in my Etsy shop, like I mentioned before. This is how I finished it, but this is, I call it duck splashing, you know, April showers, because we are in April. It's April 2nd today, so this is a nice little piece, really quick, didn't take a lot of time to stitch. And just like everything else, you don't like the color of the umbrella, if you want different color. This is kind of a pink. I don't know if it's reading on the camera, but in person it's a dark pink and a light pink for the umbrella. But if you are not into pink, you can make it dark blue and light blue, purples, greens, whatever you want. Even the water, the drops of water, if you don't want it that color, you don't have to have it that color. It can be a lighter blue. It can be whatever you want. I mean, it's your world, so make it you. And the rain boots, I chose red, but you don't have to do red. You can make the umbrella and the boots match. I mean, it's totally up to you. But this was last week's, and it is on my Etsy page. It stays there, so you can find it. Hopefully Tyr won't eat it. He really liked that last week and was really going for it, trying to eat it. So hopefully he does stay sleeping. This is the next one. Let's see if I can. This is a little bit of back stitching here. It just says spring and a really nice hoop with a butterfly or moth, depending on what it is. And it's a cat giving flowers over a white picket fence. You know, I chose gray because I like it, but you can make the cat whatever color you want. You know, if you have an orange cat at home, perhaps you want to give a little homage to the orange cat, make it orange, and that's perfectly fine. It'll still look lovely, but it'll be personalized because it's yours. So do what you want, do you, boo, do what you want, and make it yours. But I did put it in an what's considered an embroidery hoop, and that's how I finished it. So you can see a couple of different ways to finish, and you can do whatever you want that makes you happy. But I really liked this one. The duck one isn't in a hoop, which I should have done maybe, but I like the way it turned out. The only reason why the duck isn't in a hoop is because I started it really, really low, really, really close to the bottom of the fabric. And if I had tried to put in a hoop, because it's quite wide, there would have been an open space right here, and I didn't want to deal with that. So I just did this instead. And then finally, this is a very big piece that I have done. Very proud of it. Oops. You know, you can see I like cats, so I couldn't resist. You don't have to. As I said in the video where I showed this originally, I messed up here. This is not the pattern. This is me, because counting can be hard some days. But this is an extra large hoop. As you can see, it's way bigger than my head. But you can do whatever you want. If you don't want the center motif, you don't have to include it. If you don't like cats, don't include the cats. You can just repeat these above and below. There is enough space. You could just do the butterflies. You could just do this with the butterflies and no cats. Really, it's up to you. You could even, if you like the birds, you can take these little birds and put them in here instead. Really, it's what you want. And if green is not your color, but you like the 4-leaf clovers, pick a different color. Totally fine. This totally fine to make it your own. The button I got at a vintage shop. What was it called? Swanson's in Turner's Falls, Mass, I believe is where I got the button. And then these butterflies are from Michael's. I will try my best to find them if they still have them in stock. They're a seasonal thing, so I don't know. They might have moved over to summer, but I will try my best to find this again. So let's put that away. Okay. I wanted to show you now. I bought this from Loomy Stitch. Hi, Jessica from Loomy Stitch. I bought this absolutely beautiful cross stitch organizer, I'm gonna call it. For me, it's an organizer because I have thread everywhere, needles everywhere, and I love mermaids, so I got this. She gave me a button too, but I got this. It's mermaids and dolphins, underwater scape. She had this little charm on it as well. So this is absolutely lovely. The zipper is so smooth, so nice. I love it so much. I have 2 underwater oceany theme cross stitch that will be coming up, not this month, but I'm hoping by May for June, you know, when summer starts coming, to get those. So they will be held in this. It's absolutely lovely. I'm so excited. In addition to this big organizer case, I bought, it was a pack, it was a 3-pack. So let me show you. So it was this, and then what I have been using so much, because I've never had, it's called like a thread keeper, I believe. She also makes these. I'll show you her her name in a minute, but you hold your needle here, you can put your thread here, and this, you know, scissors, whatever you want to use in here. Again, the zipper pull is so nice, so lovely. I love that it's clear so you can see through it. I love that it buttons, really easy to snap and unsnap. So nice, so squishy. Here is her, let's see if I can find, I hope that reads right. It's Loomy Stitch. LUMISTITCH. You can find her on Etsy. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but I bought it from Etsy, her Etsy shop, Loomy Stitch. I will link her in the description box below. In addition to those two things, because I said it was a 3-pack, oopsies, I will show you a sneak peek of this. But I've seen people use needle minders, never used one before, you know, just not something I ever spent money on. So this time it was those two and the needle minder, and it is mermaid themed with a little flower on the back. And for those of you who are new to cross stitching and don't know what a needle minder is, it's a magnet that you put your needle on in between your stitching, or maybe you know, you need to switch threads. I switch threads, so I put my needle down, and sometimes I'm like, oh my god, where did I put it, you know, or you know, I drop it by accident and I'm really scared that the cats are gonna step on it, or if I'm gonna step on it. So this is really helpful because you can put it to your fabric. I'll show you in a second. You can stick it to your fabric. There's the front, here's the back, and you can put your needle on it when you're switching threads so you don't lose it. And it's a very strong magnet, and I love it. I absolutely love it, and I think needle minders are going to be a thing that I get. And I know people collect them, and they get them for certain seasons. If they're cross stitching, you know, Halloween, they'll use a Halloween needle minder. If they're cross stitching Christmas, a Christmas needle minder, etc., etc. So that might be something I start doing. But here's a sneak peek of the cross stitch that I am in the middle of working on. Very cute. It is very Easter themed. That is intentional because Easter is on the 20th. I think it's on the 20th of April, and we're on April 2nd today. I am not a traditional Easter celebrator, but I do love a good bunny, and I love eggs. When we were little, we would go over to my aunt and uncle's, and they would make hard-boiled eggs. I don't know if that's a Welsh thing. This is the aunt and uncle where my uncle is Welsh, born and raised in Wales. And they would hard-boil the eggs and then dye the eggs that were hard-boiled with natural dyes, so like beets, dyed with beets. I don't eat eggs, and they love eggs, so that's, I think, another reason why they did it, is so that afterwards, when they did the egg hunt, they could eat the eggs afterwards. You know, to each their own. But as my cousins got older, we would end up chucking them at each other, the hard-boiled eggs, and ruining a handful of eggs. It was very fun until you got an egg in your face. Literally, a hard-boiled egg to the face is not fun. But this is one of the fabrics that I got from 123 Stitch. I digressed. 123 Stitch, and this is the SKU information. It is 14, it's a 1/16 of a yard, 14 count crystal splash Ada fabric. It's an 8 by 12 piece. So I will link this also in the description if you like it. It, as you can see, it does shimmer, which I thought would be perfect kind of for the Easter time, spring. So even though this has bunny and eggs, I think that it can be used right at the first day of spring, which is in mid-March. And I think, why not decorate in mid-March for spring, which includes Easter, and then you can have it out all the way, because Easter is just one day and spring is so much longer. So for me, I like to make it worthwhile. I want my decorations out for the entire season. So I won't start be decorating for June until, or summer, until mid-May probably. I want to make it worth it for my cross stitches, for my quilts that I hang up, and for the decor that I switch around. So that's why I did this kind of Easter spring one. And if you're wondering, the eggs are sitting in cabbage, I guess you would say. Some sort of cabbage lettuce bowl. My interpretation of a cabbage lettuce bowl. So do you have to do it on this color fabric? Absolutely not. If you like white, go for white. But this won't drop until Monday, because that's how that's just how I do with things. I upload onto Etsy once a week, and then that's it. And then that's just how I do things. It would be too overwhelming if I tried to do like 5 or 6 pieces at a time because I work full time. This is the side hustle that I have. So to do multiple in 1 week isn't helpful for me. And then if I can get ahead on something, so I'm almost done with this, I'll have this done by probably tomorrow, and that means I can get started on something else for the following week. So I'll have a little bit of cushion, especially when work starts, to get my cross stitching up on my Etsy page so that I'm not feeling overwhelmed. I just don't like feeling overwhelmed. So there's that. And again, I will try and find the link and put this in the description box below if 123 still has this color for the fabric. And this is one of the ones that aren't as stiff. I know it says 14 count Aida, but for whatever reason, this isn't as stiff as the other Aidas that I had been using. So I'm not sure why, if it's how it's made, because it has glitter inside too, if maybe it's run through the machine a few times, so it's a little bit softer, but it's not as stiff. It doesn't hold its shape. I mean, you can see it's very floppy, whereas other 14 count Aidas are really, really stiff. I also found it a little difficult to move my needle evenly through the holes, and I think that's just something that's going to take time and practice with me. I'm by no means an expert. I don't consider myself an expert. I think we're always learning, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I don't consider myself an expert, but definitely not in this fabric. I don't know if it's my favorite to stitch on something so loose, because I know that I hit holes. And I'm going to rephrase it. I made holes that weren't supposed to be there, and I didn't catch it till I was going back. I like to stitch in a row if I can, so I didn't notice until I was going back the other way. I don't particularly like doing 1X at a time. I don't find that efficient with my time. And you'll see on a lot of my patterns that I'm doing really, really long lines or of the same color, and for me that's helpful for me to go fast. So if that's not your thing, I'm working up to doing different things, but if that's not your thing, bear with me, because things change. So yeah, it's cute, it's pretty. I think it will do what it needs to do. It gives a pop for sure, but I don't think I like fabric that is this soft. I like the stiff 14 count Aida. Okay, before I go, I forgot to mention, and I should have, I watched 2 really interesting things on Netflix, and I don't know if you guys are into like true crime, but I am, and true crime adjacent. This one's like a true crime adjacent. So on Netflix, I watched Man with 1,000 Kids. I think that's what it's called. Pretty sure that's what it's called. But it's about this sperm donor who's so prolific, and he's going around to almost every continent and donating. So he has close to 1,000 kids at this point. And there's no oversight to track him, or it was very interesting. He's a Danish man. Very cool, very interesting. And then the other one that I watched, which was intense, is Gone Girls, the Long Island serial killer. I thought that was very intense. It goes through the whole history. He is eventually caught. I'm not spoiling anything because it's been 3 or 4 years since he was caught. So, but it's very interesting to watch, because I'm not from Long Island, so I didn't know about it. I didn't live there. So after those 2, I had to take a break and listen to something or watch something light and airy. And so I listened to the Office Ladies podcast. If any of you are Office Lady podcast listeners, please let me know, because I love them so much. I love The Office, and so to have the podcast, I'm on my 2nd way through the podcast. I'm on like the 15th viewing of The Office. I love The Office. I also love Parks and Rec. And I love, there was another one that I liked. Oh, Friends, obviously. And What's the other one? The second I turn this off, I'll remember the other one. There's another one. Yeah, anyways, if you're Office Lady podcast fans, please let me know because I think it's just great. Yeah, so if you watch either one of those, I'd love to know your thoughts on Gone Girls, Long Island Serial Killer, or The Man with 1,000 Kids. I'd love to know what you think about those. I love true crime. If you have a true crime story or incident that you think I might be interested in, I would love to know. I really want to see the one on Ruby Frankie that's on Hulu, but I don't have Hulu. So if you've seen it, please let me know if it's worth it. I will sign up for like the free trial or whatever. But I've watched the one on Peacock and it's a little it lacks something. I don't know. There's not really a conclusion. I don't know if it's because it was from last year, so maybe the one on Hulu is more updated, but please let me know because I would love to know about that. But thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Again, if this is your first time watching me, please go back and look at my other videos. I have a lot more cross stitch that I show, but thank you for taking the time. If you watched all the way to the end, I appreciate it. If you are a subscriber or a returning viewer, thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed, please join me. It helps build my channel. Hit the like button, that's that thumbs up button if you like what I've been showing you and you want to follow me on my journey. I really appreciate it. Follow me on Instagram, that's Vermont Stitchy Co. That's all one word. You can follow me on Etsy, vermontstitchyco.etsy.com. Vermont Stitchy Co again is one word. And please don't forget to leave a comment. I would really like it. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.